Okay, so we're back. Same opponent. And hopefully this one goes a little bit better. And he doesn't get the Angel's Feather. Yeah, we just unlocked him. And we're going to keep that hand. We play first, so yeah, it looks good to me. If nothing else, we just get a Steel Overseer out there. If something else, we get a Master of Ethereum, and Pilgrim's Eye, and him, and we got the Kill card. We're in a good boat, I'd say. We got one of each mana, essentially, assuming we draw one in the next 2 turns. Blue. And he's probably getting pissed because I've played him like 3 times. The first game wasn't anything. He's probably just like, oh, well, what can I do to beat him? Nothing. Steel Overseer. Of course, he might be playing black now. He might have the like disfigure or whatnot. He might be playing the removal that you need to play to counter cards like this. Well, that's essentially a land card. I guess it's a land creature. I'll put a +1/+1 counter on everybody. So that way, if he is playing the vampire deck, that we can get out of disfigure range very quickly. But as soon as we're done playing, I'll go through the analysis of this deck that I have, and kind of tell you what I'm playing and what I think's good and what I think's bad and whatnot. Oh no, a vampire Nighthawk. Whatever will I do? Pilgrim's Eye. Go grab some black mana. Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink. I will trade a Master of Ethereum. Or, I will trade him to kill him. Any day. Oh well, too late. They don't really give you much time to react to things without stopping the timer. I feel like they should give you another 2 seconds to react. Because there's been a few games where I've wanted to counter something and it doesn't let me. Because it just doesn't give you the time. Skip blocking. Activate the ability. But, yeah, so he's out of disfigure range now, which is good. He's not, however, out of the other one. And that has to get dealt with this turn. So we could go him. This will cost 1 mana. And then it tapped the wrong one, of course. So we gotta grab black now instead of the blue. Black will play that. Go for the throat there. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control. And we'll swing for 4 there. And that puts us in an awesome position. We got a Nocturnus down. We know that there was a black creature on the top of his deck. I think it was the, I don't know what it was. I should have looked at it. But it's getting late. I'm tired, so I'm allowed to make mistakes like this. It's too late. You never play Magic Tournament at 1 o'clock. So, go ahead and attack him, the Pilgrim's Eye. Pilgrim's Eye will gladly trade for a Nighthawk. Coag Vampires. Oh, they've got Swamp Walk. Well, guess what? I'm about to drop like an 8/8. Master of Ethereum. So you can make that Coag Vampires as big as you like. As big as you like. Nope, no Coag Vampire. What do you want to play? What do you want to play? You're about to lose your phase. Yep, I figured you'd want to do Coag Vampires, make them a 3/3. Not gonna help you. Sweet. Boom. 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 Make them all bigger. Rar. Rar. Good game. That's how you beat a vampire deck, is you overpower them as quick as possible. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the deck analysis on this guy. So let me get out of here. I've been playing with this guy for a while. And I'm probably just going to put up the good videos. Because games where I get mana screwed or he gets mana screwed are just no fun. So I got 4 more cards left to unlock in this deck. This might be the only one that makes it in. And probably not, to be honest. 5 mana for a creature that's power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. There aren't a lot of draw cards in this deck. So by turn 5, he's maybe a 4/4. Maybe a 4/4. Assuming that you've only played like one spell at a time. But, we got 67 cards in here right now. Let me go through and decide what I don't like and what I think needs to be removed. Mirror Works. Great. Whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, put a token that's a copy of that artifact onto the battlefield. That is a great 5-cost card. These guys are not great 5-cost cards. Neither is that one. These are decent. Wormcoil Engine's much better, but it's a Wormcoil Engine. It's worth staying in there. Oh, that shouldn't have gone out, because there's a lot worse cards to take out. Let me see here. It's the last thing I would take out right now. I like how those are not land cards. But I feel like the one card that's kind of like iffy in the deck is probably Magister Sphinx. Like, it's a good card. It's a 5/5, but it costs 8 mana. No, you know what card I don't want in here? This. I know someone's going to say, why are you taking out Shape Anew? There are so many artifacts in this deck. The chances of you hitting a card better than the one that you are Shape Anewing is slim to none. Because I took out all the crappy artifacts, like all the really, really crappy artifacts. So if we go Shape Anew on turn 4, we're Shape Anewing one of these 2 creatures. That is, or this guy. And those are not good cards to Shape Anew. And then if we wait and do it on turn 3, we're Shape Anewing one of these guys. And honestly, these guys are really good. And if we wait and Shape Anew him, okay, we can Shape Anew him. He's really not that good. Or we can Shape Anew these guys. But there's really not a lot of good cards to Shape Anew. So this is the deck. All 4 of these are not going to stay in here. And here's why. Soulquake. Return all artifacts on the or all creatures on the battlefield and all creatures' cards in graveyards to their owner's hand. That's okay. Look at the mana cost. Let's look at this. 9 mana. Okay, so this is turn 9 that you're doing it. Your opponent has a ton of lands. If it has made it to turn 9 and you need to do this, your opponent has 9 lands and you have no more lands open, assuming that this is turn 9 and you've done this. You pass your turn and have to discard the cards that you don't like. Your opponent gets to keep every card in their hand, draw a card, untap all their lands, and play their creatures. If you were in a bad situation before, you're in a worse one now. I mean, unless you drop super bombs, and honestly, this deck's most powerful card is this guy. When he is going to hunt on the field with a ton of counters on him, and other cards with a ton of counters, you're dropping little things like this. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to drop, you know, a few creatures, but you're dropping chump blockers at that point, because your opponent is going to untap and go, I'm swinging with my team. And I had 9 mana, so there's 9 mana worth of power on this field. Signal Pest, please. Can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. He's a 0/1. He doesn't get bigger. Battle Cry says when he attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0. So you need 2 Signal Pests out, or to have him have a ton of counters on him for him to be worthwhile. Yes, he is a 1-drop, and there are no 1-drops in this deck, but honestly, the removal and counter spells in this deck are so much better than what's here. These are the cards that I have taken out. These guys, 2 mana for a 2/1. Garrick's deck has better 2-drops. You have better 2-drops. I mean, look at this. You have these 2. You have these 2. You have this. You have this. And you have these. You do not want those out there. We know my opinion on these. Gust Skimmer, he's okay. He's a 2/1 for 2. He's better than this. But he just does not have the power. We've gone over Shape Anew. This guy's 4 mana, or 5 mana for a 4/4. Really not that great. This, again, by the turn 5, when you play it, you should not have cards in your hand. And he is just 7 mana for a 6/4. I mean, he's cool, he's powerful, but he's just not that good. He doesn't have another ability that makes him better. So this is actually the finished version of Tezeret's deck. I'm going to go through and unlock the rest of the cards, because when I do the actual walkthrough of all the decks, I want to have everything unlocked so I can say, this shouldn't be in here, this shouldn't be in here, this shouldn't be in here. But essentially, we got Tezeret's, Chandra's, Garrick's. I just need to unlock these 2 now, and we'll be good to go. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and play a few more, and I'll be back in just a little bit.